That was jacked in, booted up.
What's up, guys? Spenny. I love the transparency of modern politics where you can just go ahead and look at Nancy Pelosi's portfolio and my goodness, I should have been copying Nancy Pelosi's trades. She is clearly the most successful traitor in American history. Look at her go. She's up 731% from 2014, right around the time that she took the speaker's gavel. Nancy Pelosi is able to pass legislation to enrich herself. She's able to, of course, insider trade on what she's about to do to the markets. And it has been a successful strategy for Nancy. Nancy Pelosi has out-earned Warren Buffett. Pelosi raked in millions last year. Her portfolio outperformed the largest hedge funds in the world. Nancy Pelosi and her degenerate husband, she always says, oh, it's my husband. He's such a good trader. No. Nancy Pelosi's husband is a belligerent alcoholic. We know this. We have it on film. We have it in 4K. Nancy Pelosi's husband is very happy to spend time in their vineyards with his male friends, holding the hammer, as they say. Now, Nancy Pelosi is not going to like what just happened in the White House press room because Karoline Leavitt just went berserker mode on her for insider trading. I mean, that's the only way. It's obviously the only explanation for this, right? Nancy Pelosi's explanation for this is that my husband is so smart. He's such a smart guy. The Pelosi's added $42 million to their net worth in 2024. How's it even possible? Now they're passing a Pelosi Act congressional stock trading ban right now. Josh Hawley has been previewing that on our show and others. And of course, many people agree that they should ban members of Congress and other members of the federal government from banning stocks. Anyway, Karoline Leavitt went hard. In 2024, Pelosi's stock portfolio grew 70% in 1 year. She doubled the returns of Warren Buffett. Pelosi made $174,000 a year. She has a net worth of almost $500 million. Ooh, Karoline Leavitt going savage mode here. Let's go.
Have you talked with the president about his position on the stock trading ban bill before Congress? He obviously had pretty loaded comments about Senator Hawley. There's some reporting that they've since spoken. What is his position on the current status of that bill?
The president has spoken to Senator Hawley, who called him, and the president took that call. As the president said in the Roosevelt Room yesterday, conceptually, he of course supports the idea of ensuring that members of Congress and United States senators who are here for public service cannot enrich themselves. And the reason that this idea to put a ban on stock trading for members of Congress is even a thing is because of Nancy Pelosi. I mean, she is rightfully criticized because she makes, I think, $174,000 a year, yet she has a net worth of approximately $413 million. In 2024, Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio, this was a fascinating statistic to me, grew 70% in 1 year in 2024, and her portfolio outperformed every single large hedge fund in that same year, and even more than doubled the returns of Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. So I think the president stands with the American people on this. He doesn't want to see people like Nancy Pelosi enriching themselves off of public service and ripping off their constituents in the process. As for the mechanics of the legislation and how it will move forward, the White House continues to be in discussions with our friends on Capitol Hill.
These numbers are absolutely spectacular. She came correct on this. The president stands with the American people on this and doesn't want to see people like Nancy Pelosi enriching themselves, ripping off the public. It's a great line of attack. Nancy Pelosi is clearly bothered by this, as Pelosi was having a hysterical, psychotic breakdown on CNN yesterday when they asked her about this. Watch.
Let me just read what he said. I'm sorry that we had some sort of technical issue. Nancy Pelosi became rich.
Why do you have to read that? We're here to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid. That's what I agreed to come to talk about.
But I wanted
what that means in the election.
I wanted to give you a chance just to respond. He accused you of insider trading. What's your response to that?
That's ridiculous. In fact, I very much support the trading of members of Congress. Not that I think anybody's doing anything wrong. If they are prosecuted and they go to jail. But because of the confidence it instills in the American people, don't worry about this. But I have no concern about the obvious investments that had been made over time. I'm not into it. My husband is, but it isn't anything to do with anything insider. But the president has his own exposure, so he's always projecting. He's always projecting. And let's not give him any more time on that, please. We're going forward here, and I'm very proud of my family. And while he might make fun of us, while somebody inspired by him breaks into our home and hits my husband in a deadly fashion, hits my husband over the head, and he thinks that's a riot, I'd rather not go into some of my other complaints about him right now, rather to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid.
That's Nancy Pelosi having something to hide. If anyone ever dared come on this channel, and we're live with 2 or 3 interviews a day with very important, prominent, and very interesting people, and if somebody dared come on this program and tell me what I'm allowed to ask them, or like bark at me that I approve the questions in advance, well, one, it'd be their worst day living because I would destroy them live on the air until they had to rip the cord out of their computer and humiliate them for being a coward. But then two, like, what are you hiding? You know, that like Nancy Pelosi's reaction there, like spazzing out, means she's hiding something. Means they're over the target. Democrats also spazzing out over what Karoline Leavitt said. With this Durham annex that was released today, Soros' alleged ties to Russiagate exposed, declassified annex of Durham report. CIA Director John Ratcliffe, FBI Director Patel, and Pam Bondi coordinated to declassify. The TLDR on the Durham declassification is it proves that Hillary Clinton coordinated with George Soros and his Open Society Foundation and the FBI in order to push these false Russian disinformation smear campaign on Donald Trump, that it was all pre-approved, that it was all preset. They knew what was going to happen, and they did it with the express control of the FBI. Listen to Karoline Leavitt here.
Well, I think a major organization of the national security apparatus, at least here at the White House within the National Security Council, has indeed taken place, and the president entrusts his current CIA director, John Ratcliffe, and our ODNI director, Tulsi Gabbard, to make the necessary changes to ensure classified intelligence, especially that could implement or hurt the national security of our country, does not make its way into the hands of irresponsible actors who want to politicize that intelligence for their own end. Since you brought up the declassification report that was put out by Senator Grassley today, I'm glad you brought it up, because this should be a story every outlet in this room should be covering. This is further evidence that Hillary Clinton approved the Russia hoax against President Trump. Her campaign financed it. Again, she approved it. And the FBI and the CIA were both weaponized to, as our director of CIA has said, accelerate this hoax against then candidate and former President Trump. To answer the heart of your question, the president wants to see justice served, and he trusts the Attorney General and the Department of Justice to implement that justice and hold these people accountable.
Ooh, baby. The documents are cooking, too. She's right. It should be the #1 story in America. Why the hell did it take us so long to get this? I don't know. Why are we reading this in 2025 when all of these crimes happened in 2016? 10 years, man. That's a long time for people to keep caring. Hillary Clinton is guilty of criminal conspiracy, says Mike Benz, conspiring with intelligence and White House officials to violate the CIA's charter, Executive Order 12333, explicitly prohibiting the agency from conducting intelligence operations on U.S. citizens in the United States. The evidence is now indisputable. Criminal Russiagate co-conspirators' only defense is to claim that they actually believed their own BS and thus had an innocent state of mind while carrying it out. Ironically, this same linchpin the Trump prosecution hung on. Wow. But it did not stop the Biden DOJ from bringing the prosecution. Even though they had no direct confession or guilty state of mind, the Biden DOJ brought the case anyway and put it to a jury to decide the state of mind. We learned this in front of them. We learned this from them, that no one is above the law. Yeah, look. Ooh, boy. We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see. But a nice performance there by Karoline Leavitt, bringing out the flamethrower today. It's your boy Betty. Like, share, subscribe. More flamethrower clips. See ya.